Right guys, welcome back to another Dayzsa tutorial. For anyone or for you guys that watch my YouTube channel and my videos I put out, you realise, I do a lot of Dayzsa tutorials. And this is all on stuff I know. I find there's not always a lot of stuff out there for like I was going to say Rust, new Dayzsa owners. So when I started doing these videos, I started putting them out. These days there is like two or three more YouTubers that do excellent tutorials out there. So there is quite a bit of content out there nowadays. But when I started, there wasn't, and it's just something I've continued. It's something I enjoy doing. But like myself and like some others, like new Dayzsa owners, server owners, there's still some stuff I don't know. And one of them being is like creating custom textures for your clothing, and like putting that into a mod. Now, up until about 2 days ago, 4 days ago, about 4 or 5 days ago, it actually sort of started. But by 2 days ago ish is when I sort of learnt it. I actually can do custom texture now, or at least know the basics of creating custom textures and uploading it to the workshop so you can use it on your server. So I'm going to try and show you in a really simple way. Now, just so I take things slowly and steady, I'm probably going to put this video into two parts. We'll see, I may get it into one. Now, like I said, I've only just learnt this and understand the basics, so I'm no expert, so you'll have to bear with me, but I think, I can show you a nice, really simple way for you guys, for anyone who's got a Dayzsa server and is new to like this sort of stuff, editing stuff and texture and stuff. You can do this yourself. Now, I'm no great texturer. I'm not going to do like camera textures and stuff. I just simply put some text on clothing and away you go. And that's what I'll do in this video. But I'm going to learn to do textures and stuff as well at some point. But at least if I can show you the basics, I thought that will help. Anyway, there's a few things you're going to need, and before I actually do get into that, now you're going to need, well, you don't need a program. I'm going to use a program called Makiro Tools, and in there's some, exes that you install, and there's a PBO project which you need to pack your files into a PBO. Now, you can use another program which I'm going to be using, Dayzsa Tools, which has an add-on builder which does the same thing, and you can just use that as well instead of the Makiro Tools PBO project. With me, we're using add-on tools. It doesn't pack the files properly, and I'm missing files. So I use the Makiro tools and the PBO project on that. So I want to clear that up. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth with the Makiro tools. I will show you where to go where you need to sort of download stuff. I can't personally remember everything that I downloaded. I had a friend that showed me what I needed. But there is video guides, and there's a YouTube from Matthew Longtime. I know he's made a video guide on using Makiro tools. Is it Makiro or Micro? I don't know how you pronounce it, Makiro or Micro, something like that, and installing what you need to do to get that working. But I will briefly show you my settings, what I use. Anyway, so a few things you're going to need, and one of the important things you're going to need is an image editing software. So Photoshop is the most popular one, but unless you want to get like a torrented version, you have to pay for it. But if you want to use a torrent version, go ahead, do that. I use a program called GIMP. That's actually free, full stop. You get everything free. And it's a pretty powerful program. It does pretty much everything that you need something like that to do. Maybe doesn't have, full features of like Photoshop, but it's a decent program. So I would suggest using GIMP if you can't afford to get like Photoshop or any other program that you need to pay for, or if you don't want to use a torrented version. You're going to need Dayzsa Tools. So, Dayzsa Tools, if you go to Dayzsa, go to like your library, and in this box, it might just be defaulted on the games, but select the Tools option and type Dayzsa Tools. And then in here, I've already got it, but install Dayzsa Tools. Once that's installed, you'll need to launch it, and I'll go into that in a second. Secondly, like I said, you need a program like GIMP or Photoshop. Go ahead and install. If you haven't already got a program like that, go ahead and, I would suggest GIMP because it's free. Go ahead and install this. Thirdly, you want to install Makiro Tools. I think it is called Makiro. So I'll put the link in the description, but you want to go to this site, and there's a few installers here that you need. Now I can't remember everything. One of the important ones you do need is, I think, Make PBO and PBO Project, and the PBO Project is the one that I'm going to be using to actually pack the files into a PBO. But I think there's like 6 or 7 of them here, maybe a couple more that you need to install. But if you Google it, if you just Google like Mercurial Tools, there is a link here for a video by Matthew Longtime, so you can click that and he'll show you how to set it up. Right, so they're the 3 things. Now, you don't need Mercurial Tools. Let me just make that clear. You can use in Dayz Tools. You can use if we just launch it. So once you go into launch it, you can use the add-on builder. But like for me, it didn't pack everything, so that's why I use Mercurial Tools. But if add-on builder works for you, you don't need Mercurial Tools. But this video, I will be using it. Right. So once you've got this installed, couple of things you're gonna need to do is extract game data. So this will extract the game data, and then let me just dismount that so you can see. And then what you want to do is you're going to want to mount the P drive. So once you've extracted game data, it'll take probably a little bit of time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know, roughly. You know, it may just take a little bit of time, but just let that extract. Once that's done, you can mount the P drive. So if you click Mount P drive, this will do everything and it'll close. And if you go to your File Explorer, you'll now see we've got a local disk P, and this has got your P drive. I've already started doing some stuff. Like I said, I've already got some custom mod and some files with my custom textures. If we just open back up Dayz Tools, I don't think there's no actual you can like choose where the projects go and stuff, the file paths and everything. I've just left it as default. You know, just do the same. If you're like, you're not familiar with this, just do the same. Right, now we want to go to the P drive. So we want to create 2 folders. One being like basically the project folder, the folder where all your configs are, the folder where you're going to basically be editing everything. And mine is this one, and I've also got a copy, so if I do something wrong, I've got a backup. But yeah, create a folder. I would suggest to not have spaces in it. Like you can join the letters up or use like these lines or something to join it up. But create a folder, and in here we want to create. So I like to keep things organized, so I create subfolders with each of my stuff. So we've got a jacket folder, so this will have all my jackets where I create custom textures. We've got pants, and in this video I'm actually going to do, I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do one. I'm going to do like a cap or something. So what I would do, so what you would need to do, so once you create a folder, this will be empty, create another folder, and I'm just going to call this hats, I think. That'll do. Or cap. Yeah, I'm just going to call it cap because this is only going to be like admin stuff. I'm going to make admin sort of close, and I'm just going to have a cap. We're going to call it caps, and we will have a capital C, just like everything else. Now it doesn't have to be capital. We'll call that caps. So that's what you're going to want to do. Now once you've done that, you can go back to your P drive. Now you want to create another folder, which is going to be your mod folder. So mine is here, live to survive, close. So again, you would just create a new folder and you call it whatever. You call it whatever, mod folder, for example. Now, let me just delete that because I'm going to show you from my mod folder. So my one is live to survive. So the first one being like I said, the config folder of stuff where you're going to edit stuff, and the second one, this one, is the mod folder. And inside the mod folder, if you use Mercurial Tools, I don't think you need to do this because it does it by itself, but you want to create an add-ons folder. And this is basically where your PBOs are going to go, and like your signed PBOs. Now, if you use add-on builder and Dayz Tools, I think you may need to create this. But I'm pretty sure Mercurial Tools will do it for you. But make sure, either way, at the end of all this, in this mod folder, you've got add-on tools, not add-on tools, an add-on folder where your PBOs are going to be. And if you want this public so other people can use it, you're going to want a keys folder too. So go ahead and create a keys folder, and this is where your bikey key is going to go. And I'll show you that. Like I said, I'll probably put this in 2 videos, so I'll show you that probably in the second part of the video. So once you've got your two folders, you need to go ahead and actually open up. Stay in your P drive. You're going to want to use text view. So actually, no, I'm going ahead of myself again. Go ahead. You're going to want to think what you want. So I want to get like a cap or something to put in here. Now I'm going to need a config file as well. So if I go, say, to my jacket folder, I've got a config thing in here. If I copy this and then close it, because I don't want to overwrite it, and as I start doing a video, I start getting a message on Discord. Always away, always get disturbed. If we go back, if we go to caps, if we create a new file called config.cpp and delete the .text at the end, so it's just a CPP file, go ahead and create yes. If we open that up, and like I said, make sure if you've got any other tabs here open in like Notepad or Notepad++, whatever you're using, make sure you've closed any other tabs called config CPP, because you don't want to accidentally overwrite another config file. So just be careful of that. So you'll have this. Now I'm not going to post this onto any like website for you can download. Join my Discord. I mean, you only have to join it for a second or two. Just join it till I give you the file. Join my Discord, message me, or create a ticket, and I can actually give you this config file. The only thing you'll have to do is change the class name, and change some other names, but I'll go through that. As I go through the config, I'll tell you what you need to change. Right, now once you've got this config, what you're going to need to change is this name here. Now for me, I'm not going to do it because I need it as this, but this name here is going to be the folder name that you've created for your config file, basically, for the folder that you create all your stuff in, that you edit all your configs. So for me, lift slive clothing with the underscores, so mine is that name. Scroll down, this class here, exactly the same, the name of your folder, so these two match, and again in this directory part, the name of your folder. So all class there, and the directory, undo that, is going to be the same name as your folder name. Now the name here, it doesn't really matter. I basically called it my folder name, so live to survive, and this is, we was working with, when I did this was jacket, so I've taken this out of my jackets file. Because we're working with caps, we're going to call this caps, and again, call it whatever you want to do. We're going to call this caps. Now put your author name there, so your name, and you can leave everything else there as default. Scroll down a bit. Now we're getting into like the color base. So what I would do now is I would just save this for now, and we're going to need to find a color base. So we're going to need to find a cap and the color base that we want to use. And to do that, go back to your P drive, go to scripts, go to full world, go to entities, and then go to item base, and we want to find clothing. We want to find a cap. I'm not sure what is it a helm base? No, that's just literally helmets. We actually want to find, I'm not sure what they're called, but we want to find something. You would think I would have got this sorted before I recorded. It's a police cap. I'm not sure what the normal caps are called. Okay, let's just take, for now, let's just take prisoner cap. No, I think I know what the prisoner cap is. Police cap. We may just use the police cap. scroll through, just make sure there's nothing else down here. Mask, boots, bandana. We could just take it. Tell you what, we'll take. I saw flat cap. We'll take the flat cap. Now you want to look for one that's got underscore color base. Some have just got .c. So I always like to use the one that says underscore color base, because you know then you've got a color base for that cap. So if we right click, rename, Control C, just to copy the name of it. Now you don't need the .c. You can see it doesn't highlight the .c, so you just need to copy the name up into the color base. And actually don't rename it here. I just like to rename because it's a nice easy way. So you can just press Control and C to copy it. And then go back to your config file, which you'll get from me from Discord. So join the Discord for that and ask me for it. And this class, this middle class, you want to change the name. So I like all that, and Control V, and I'll update the color base. Now, next line down, you've got another class. You want to do the same on this part and change that there. Now, this part is going to be the class name of the item. So if you want to spawn this in via your admin tools, you want to spawn it in via your types file so it spawns around the map, or you want to add this to like a trader, you would use this name. So I'm going to call it LTS, so it stands for Live to Survive, just so I don't have a massive long name to search. Underscore admin, because it's going to be part of an admin set, but again, put it to whatever you want to be, and this will be cap. And that's that. Now go ahead down here and you can put a display name. So I'll change this to cap. So Live to Survive admin cap. So whenever you look at this item, it will show you that, and we got the short name of it, so abbreviated. And again, I'll show you all this in game, and we'll just call that cap. And again, I put these little things here so you can sort of see what it actually represents. Now we'll go ahead and file save that. Now we're going to want to use the imaging editing software and text view, which is built into Dayzsa tools, to actually generate a PAA file, a PAA texture, so we can actually use it in game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that CPP app, and just to make sure that I haven't overwritten nothing by accident, we're going to go back into that. We're going to go say to the jackets, open up that, and all that's still the same. So like I said, if you've got more than one tab open with the same file, you can accidentally overwrite the wrong file. And this is for my pants. Good. So I've not overwritten nothing. So I like to make sure I've closed each tab down that contains config.cpp, so you don't override nothing. So I'm hoping you're with me so far. Now what we're going to need to get, if we go back to the P drive, go to DZ or DZ, go to characters, go to headgear, go to data, and we used a flat cap, so we want to find the PAA file for the flat cap. There we go. So we want I think this one. We want the one that's got underscore co.paa. We don't want one that's got underscore smdi or anything else. You're looking for one, and same with all the other types of clothing, underscore co.paa. So we're going to take that. So if we just move that to one side, and again, like I said, make sure you're using the right class name, the right thing that you put in your config, and we're going to want to open up text view. And if we can just shrink this a little bit over there, put that to the side, and you can literally just click on the PAA file that you want, drag it over, and we'll just open that, and we can see we've got the texture. Now this is a little bit, yeah, this isn't really quite the cap that I wanted. I will do this properly. I'll find the right one and I'll do this properly. But for demonstration purposes of the video, you know, you'll get to see this working. So you can kind of see this is the top. I think this is the front. Yeah, some textures you can't really make out too well. You got to zoom in and look around. But yeah, I can sort of see it. So what I want is I want this texture. So I want to save as. You can save this anywhere. I'm going to save it into my P drive, and I'm going to save it into the folder that I'm working with. I'm going to go into the caps folder, and I'm going to save it there as the PAA. Right, that done. Oh, no, I need to save it, sorry. Text view. I need to save it as a PNG. My bad. But we've got the PAA file anyway there as easy reference if we need it. But we want to save as, because GIMP doesn't recognize PAA files, we want to save it as a PNG. So I can actually open it up in GIMP, go back to the P drive, go back to there, and we'll save it there as a PNG. Now I can open that up in GIMP, so I can actually edit it. Close that for now. That can stay open for now, and I've got GIMP open. So go back to your image editing software, and you want to basically open up that file. So find where you saved it, and again, you could have saved that to your desktop. Doesn't really matter where you save it, as long as you know where it is. Go back to that and click all files. Where did we? And it was that one. No, it wasn't. Did I actually save it there? Oh no, I'm in the wrong file. Sorry, I want caps. That's why I couldn't find it. And we want to open up the PNG, like so. Go away, phone. Right, now I'm not going to show you how to use GIMP. I don't know a lot of stuff. I just know very basic stuff. But you can go ahead and create textures and do whatever you want. For the purpose of the video, I'm just going to create some text, and I believe this is the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write LTS admin. Now if we make that box bigger so you can see, and then if we highlight all the letters, we can change the size of the text. We'll put, I think 60 should be fine, and then we'll use the move tool. I think that's the top. I'm going to need to experiment. It's quite hard to see, but once you've got it in game, you know, you can see, you know, what's what and where you need to adjust it, and you can always come back and readjust it. Right, so we'll put that there for now, and keep in theme with what I've already got. We're going to go with like the green. We'll go with green like that, and that's it. So obviously do more to if you got like pants or whatever, you can do whatever text you want, do camo, do skins, you know, do whatever design you want. But for me, purpose of the video, I'm going to leave it as that, and I'm going to export that as. Now I think if you use Photoshop, you can just save it. I'm going to export that as. I'm going to keep the same name, but so it doesn't overwrite what's in there, I'm going to change the name to 1, and I'm going to export that into the same file, same folder. And again, it doesn't need to be. You can put it onto your desktop. Just put it wherever you want. I just like to keep things in the same folder, so it's all there, ready for me to use. Now, once that's done, I can close out of that. You can save this. You can save it if I want to. If I want to come back and edit some more stuff, I can just save it as, you know, GIMP uses XCF file format, so I can just save that. But I'm not going to want to come back and do this, so I'm going to close that down and discard changes. Now, what we just edited there, we want to open that up in text view, because we now need to change that back to a PAA file so Dayzsa can read it. So file open in text view, and you know, this is in Dayzsa tools, so make sure you got Dayzsa tools open, and you can see it's there. I'm going to open that up, and then we're going to file save as, and this, whatever you choose now, is going to be important, because this is going to be the PAA file that Dayzsa needs to read. So we're just going to call this admin underscore cap dot PAA, like so, and we'll save that into the caps folder. And again, remember, I call my caps if you're doing jackets, pants, whatever, and whatever you name, you've chose your folder, you link it to that folder, and then save that. Now, if we go back to the P drive, that we should have that there. Go back to that, caps. So we've got all the ones that we saved, and we've got the PAA file right there. No, that one there, admin cap, but there. We can go ahead and delete these. For now, I'm just going to keep them there. but that's the original texture. That's the one that I've exported from GIMP, and then this is the one that I've used from TextView to convert it to the file that it needs to be. So remember the name, admin_cap.paa. We're going to need to put this into our config. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, no, I was in the folder, go into the config. Down the bottom here is what you need to change. So this here is going to be, the first part is going to be the name of your folder. So for me, Live to Survive Clothing, same as the, the class up here. Then this part here is the name of the folder. So we're not doing jackets, we're actually doing caps. And let me just make sure I did use a capital C, and we did. I like to use case sensitive just to make sure you're not going to have any issues. And then here was admin cap, and we actually use capital A for admin on this one. So if we use admin_cap and it's .paa, and what we can do is we can copy the first line and we can just overwrite the next 2 lines, and you do need to do this 3 times for it to work, but you can see all 3 of these lines will be in the config when I give you them. So I'm open so far that you're with me. You've understood this. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for you guys. So again, the folder name, the subfolder that you created within the main folder, and then the name of the file that you've saved as after TextView when you've created the texture. File, save, make sure I don't have any configs open, and save that. So we'll close out of that. So again, the folder name, the subfolder you created, mine was caps, and then the name that we used to save it as from TextView after we create the texture. And again, if we open up TextView, drag that in, you can see that's what we got. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is go back to your P drive, and I said at the start you need to create a second folder. One will be your mod folder, and I said if you haven't created add-ons, Makira Tool should do this. Dayzsa add-on builder, if you use add-on builder, it may not, but make sure if you haven't got an add-on folder with the PBO in at the end of this, go ahead and create an add-on folder and redo when you pack the PBO, redo it again. But go ahead and create a keys folder. We're going to want to generate a key, so I'm going to quickly show you how to generate a key, and we're going to end the video here, and then I'll pick it up in part 2. Now to generate a key, you want to go to open up Dayz Tools if you've closed it, go to DS Tools, and here we've got a private key option. So you want to select a path to create a private key. So what I've done is on my desktop is I just created a folder, and it's actually called if I put it there, no, I don't want to pop it in there. I don't want to actually pop it in there. Delete that. Right there. So we've called it private key close mod because it's my private key and it's for my close mod. But again, you can name the folder whatever you want. And inside that, we've got a by key and a private by key. So these are your keys. Now, what you do to get the keys in there is in DSU Tools. Once you create your folder, you want to create the path for it. So just choose, the folder. And yeah, you just basically press N. Don't click the folder option. Click N. Put your authority name. So this will be your name. So this will be. You see, I've got 1 shot. If I open up the keys folder, I've got 1 shot. So this will be the name of the key. And choose the destination path. So for me, it was on my desktop. I click the close mod folder, and you click OK. And then make sure you have the ticked option where you use this authority to sign files. This should be ticked as default, but if it's not, make sure it's ticked. Create key. And what this will do, this will create the public key and the private key and a text file in this folder. So once you've done that, all you need to do in your mod folder, or what will be your mod folder, after you create the keys folder, you want to put the keys folder in there. So go back to the folder you create on your desktop, say, where it's going to contain your keys, and you could just drag and drop your public key into your keys folder in your closed mod, which is on your P drive. And make sure it's your public key and not your private key. Your public one is the one that doesn't say BI private. Okay, so your public one. Right, once you've done that, you're good to go so far. Now, like I said, I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to continue it in a part 2. Main reason is because I don't want this video to go on for too long, and I actually have to get ready for work in the next sort of 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'll try and get part 2 out fairly soon. And yeah, in part 2, we'll show you how to pack the PBO, how to sign the keys, so it all works, and how to upload it to the Steam Workshop, and then we'll obviously log into the server, and we'll show you it working. Anyway, until then, guys, peace out and have fun, and I'll see you in the next part.